Don't talk back. You're just slow. That's why it's not done. Next, make copies of these, will ya? Huh.
You come up with such interesting plans even though you just joined. You have great instincts, Shunta.
Hey, how long is it gonna take you to finish that simple inventory check I asked for earlier? But look at this amount. Could you give me a little more time? Don't talk back. You're just slow. That's why it's not done. Next, make copies of these, will ya? Huh. There's absolutely no need to do these chores right now. Getting treated like this almost every day, it wouldn't be surprising if my frustration boiled over, but I'm different. Huh? What? I'm a top sales rep with a college degree, and you're just a high school grad doing sales support. It's only natural you listen to me, right? This guy blatantly discriminating based on education is Teru Kurisu. We joined the company in the same year, but since he's a college grad and I'm a high school grad, he's 4 years older than me. I'll get right on it. You should have just said that obediently from the start. Just say, I'm so lucky to even have a job as a high school grad. I'm Shunta Yoga, the guy Teru pushes around. I'm a 23-year-old who joined this major company straight out of high school. No matter how much he provokes me, I don't argue back. I've become completely used to people saying things to me. I don't even have memories of my parents, but the experiences and memories that shaped who I am remain vivid in my mind.
Hey, you grew up in an orphanage, so don't even think about joining our group.
I apparently lost my parents in an accident before I turned 2, and by the time I was old enough to understand, I was living in an orphanage. To my classmates who had normal families, I must have seemed like a weird kid. I even heard rumors that some classmates' parents told them, don't play with that boy. But... Hey, who's making fun of Shunta? Jinto. Whenever I stayed quiet, thinking it was useless to talk back, Jinto was always there to save me.
Crap, an older kid, run!
Jinto was 2 years older and lived in the same orphanage. He always treated me like a little brother. He was the only light in my life. That being said, just because I'm used to people talking down to me doesn't mean it's okay. Because he's the kind of guy who makes fun of high school grads left and right. There are, of course, other high school grad employees besides me, which is why I've been appealing to the company to improve the work environment. But it's no use. This company has no intention of changing. Changing a company's culture isn't easy. I knew that, but I also have the right to choose my environment. You're quitting? What, running away? This is why you weak high school grads who haven't survived the college entrance exam wars are such a pain. Having given up on this unchanging company and decided to quit, he threw those words at me like a final blow. Up until now, I hadn't really argued back, but... Weak? We've worked together for 5 years, and you still have absolutely no eye for people. What did you say? I ignored Teru, who was fuming because he never expected me to fight back, packed my things, and left the company. I need to learn from the mistakes I made when I first looked for a job in my 3rd year of high school. You see, there are various restrictions when it comes to high school grads getting jobs. To not interfere with their studies in their 3rd year, and to prevent minors from being deceived by malicious companies. To uphold these 2 principles, rules are set. You can only apply to one company, you must go through the school's mediation, and document screening is prohibited. It's something to be grateful for, but it meant I couldn't research companies, weigh my options, or go to multiple interviews. This is an absolute rule known as the tripartite agreement between governments, schools, and companies hiring high school grads. However, now that I'm job hunting as a career changer instead of a new high school grad, there are no restrictions whatsoever. After doing exhaustive research on my own, I successfully landed a job offer a few months later. I'll be working here starting today. I'm Shunta Yoga. Welcome to Love Koi Navi. I'm looking forward to working with you. I had chosen a company that seemed open-minded and had other high school grad employees, but honestly, I was surprised. I was taken aback by how warmly they welcomed me, something unimaginable at my previous job, and on top of that, it's been a while, Shunta. Huh? Jinto? To my surprise, Jinto Tamagawa, my older brother figure from the orphanage, was working at my new company. What a coincidence, huh? Looking forward to working with you. It was a miraculous reunion after about 10 years with Jinto, who left the orphanage in middle school when he found foster parents. Between the warm welcome from my colleagues and this reunion, I strongly felt on my very first day that I made the right choice in picking this company. So, the company I joined is Love Koi Navi, a comprehensive HR service company. We provide various content that connects people and companies during job hunting and career changes. Shunta, I think I'll have you work under me first so you can learn about the current state and challenges of this industry. By challenges, do you mean the pros and cons of the tripartite agreement? Exactly. Since you have experience getting a job as a high school grad, you've experienced it firsthand and will quickly catch on. The market and needs are larger for college grad employment and mid-career transitions, but I have no experience in those areas. Because of that, Jinto let me take charge of the high school grad employment sector. I have a lot of other responsibilities, and I'm often out of the office, so if you have any questions, ask her, Maureen.
Yes, you must be Shunta. I've heard all about you.
So close. My heart skipped a beat at how close she was right from the start. Her smile is dazzling.
I'm Marin Seta. It seems we're the same age, so nice to meet you.
Saying that, Maureen offered her hand for a handshake.
I'm sorry. It seems my grip strength isn't exactly normal, so I don't know my own strength.
I see. You're lucky your hand wasn't crushed. Maureen is a black belt in karate and even entered college on a sports scholarship for it. She's a true martial artist. If you ever have trouble opening a stubborn water bottle or pen cap, just ask her.
Hey, Jinto! Stop making me sound like some super strong freak. Honestly.
Well, I have to head to a client's office, so I'll leave the rest to you. Seeing how close they were, I shook my numb hand and asked Maureen. Are you and Jinto in a special relationship, or...
Huh? No way! Do you want a spinning back kick to the face?
Please spare me.
He's helpful at work, but a guy who's only good for his brains? No thanks.
It's true that Jinto had excellent grades. I think that played a part in him finding foster parents. After that, I learned the ropes by tagging along on Jinto and Maureen's sales calls and proposing new plans and meetings.
You come up with such interesting plans even though you just joined. You have great instincts, Shunta.
As expected, all that strict training I gave you since childhood really paid off. Jinto laughed as if it were a joke, but he looked as proud as if it were his own achievement. Thank you. I'll do my best to build a track record quickly. I was truly grateful to these two for creating such a wonderful work environment, unlike my previous job, and I swore to repay their kindness soon. Once the initial busyness of joining the company settled down, the three of us went out for drinks at an izakaya for my welcome party. I'm so happy as an older brother that the day has come when I can share a drink with you, Shunta. Oh.
Hey, Jinto, is there really a need to cry? Aren't you drinking too much?
I'm deeply moved that the day has come when I can drink with you too, Jinto. I'm grateful for all the help at work too. By the way, Jinto asked me on my first day to talk to him casually like we used to, outside of work. And Maureen, thank you for your advice. It's strict, but always spot on. What's with the formality? We're teammates, so of course we're gonna support you. At my last job, just because I was a high school grad, the college grad employees constantly treated me like I was incompetent. But you two, even though you're college grads, treat me as an equal, and I'm really happy about that. They both looked blank for a moment after hearing my words, then tilted their heads in confusion. Huh? Maureen and I are high school grads too, you know. Huh? You are, Jinto? But you were top of our class in middle school, and you found wealthy foster parents. I just assumed you went on to college. Well, I was top of my class in high school too, but I strongly wanted to become independent as soon as possible. My foster parents told me they'd pay whatever it took for me to go to college, but in the end, they supported my decision. Is that so? Back then, there was a time when I envied Jinto for finding wealthy foster parents and leaving the orphanage. But he had also experienced life in the orphanage just like me. He probably felt the same pain of not being able to support himself. But Maureen, I thought you said you'd gotten on a karate scholarship.
Yeah, I got into college on a scholarship, but during a tournament in the fall of my freshman year, I badly injured my right knee. It ended my career as an athlete. I had the right to stay in college even if I quit the karate club, but it just felt wrong somehow. So I dropped out, and my final educational background is a high school diploma.
They both talked about it so calmly, but for someone like me who wanted to go to college but couldn't afford it, it was an unbelievable decision.
Only a handful of people can make a living by turning pro in sports. 99% of student athletes have to get a regular job. But you know, that's a tough decision for an athlete. It feels like denying all the hard work you put in since childhood. I want to support those people in finding jobs. That's what I thought after my injury, so I quit college right away and got a job here.
I think the societal trend that says you're at a disadvantage in job hunting if you don't go to college is ridiculous in the first place. I think college should really only be for people who have something they genuinely want to master or study. It was a total eye-opener. Being looked down on by college grads every day, my perspective had become completely narrow. Besides, think about it. There are excellent candidates who only have a high school diploma, right? Like you and me. I believe you can't measure a person's worth just by their educational background, and you're obviously a capable guy, Shunta. The feelings I'd been holding onto for so long felt validated by Jinto's words, and a smile naturally spread across my face.
Hey, what about me? Huh? What about me?
Maureen raising her voice in protest also helped lighten my heart. Everyone has their own beliefs, circumstances, and resolve. Whether you're a high school grad or a college grad, it's the path you choose. Listening to them, I realized that what's important is the backbone that makes up each individual. I'm really glad I met you two, but at the same time, I'm sick of this world where such weird values are so widespread.
What are you talking about? By being in this company, we can change this world, even if it's just a little bit.
Seeing Mari smile mischievously like a child, I couldn't help but be captivated by her. Since that day, I thoroughly researched the current job market all over again. I spent months conducting massive surveys, continuously gathering valuable real-life opinions. Even if it's just a little bit, just a tiny bit, I'm going to change the world with what I can do. Consulting with Jinto and Maureen, I worked hard every day toward my goal. Meanwhile, at my old company, Teru was furrowing his brows. It feels like we're getting fewer college students accessing our recruitment page. What's going on? I got results in the sales department and finally managed to transfer to HR, which is supposed to be the fast track to promotion. Teru, who had transferred from sales to HR after I quit, was growing increasingly frustrated that the new graduate recruitment wasn't going as smoothly as he hoped. A few months later, I had gotten past the hardest part of my project, and that day, Maureen invited me out for dinner.
Hey, Shunta, look at this news.
It said that due to the rapidly declining birth rate, 40% of private universities are already failing to meet their enrollment quotas. And that in 15 years, those 40% will face financial crises, leading to an unstoppable chain of school closures. We used to talk about an era where anyone could get into college, but maybe there's a total oversupply now.
Right? Let's just hope we don't end up in a situation where schools suddenly close due to financial problems, robbing current students of their learning environment.
I was working with the conviction that this future would come, but now that it's becoming a reality, it's a little scary.
Maybe it means the values everyone has believed in are about to change drastically. The universities that actually give you an advantage in job hunting are only the top few. Going to college is a huge investment, but many students don't reap the benefits.
Maybe fewer students are choosing to go to college just because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, sooner or later, this era was bound to come.
Maureen and I had our heads close together as we looked at the small smartphone screen. When I suddenly looked up, Maureen was looking at me, grinning happily, and my heart skipped a beat.
It's going to be fine. I believe the work you're trying to do is a life for the future. Besides, isn't this what they call foresight? Good job, Shunta.
It's nothing that grand, but thank you, Maureen. I could never say it out loud, but your smile is my true light. The changing of the times is a constant in life. The fact that universities are decreasing might just be part of that flow. But that doesn't mean the percentage of high school grads entering the workforce will suddenly and drastically increase statistically. That's because the declining birth rate affects both the base number of college-bound students and the high school grad population. Honestly, that's not the issue. What I'm aiming for is...
Teru, about today's company information session.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll handle it, so you just go do some chores. Well, even though the times were steadily changing, he was the only one who hadn't. With the company information session for new graduates coming up tomorrow, he was still bossing the high school grad employees around, just like before. Students, it's perfectly logical for companies to look at educational backgrounds. It guarantees a certain level of academic ability and logical thinking for a company that translates to more efficient employee training. Companies are looking for people who can contribute immediately. Naturally, our company is no exception. It seems there are some high school grads here as well, but for people like you, we'd have to start from the absolute basics. Teru spoke from the stage at the information session. An uncomfortable silence hung over the venue. Teru, what's the meaning of this? Well... Later, Teru found himself in a stomach-churning situation in front of the company's higher-ups. That's because, after the company information session he had led, complaints poured in from all over. I just communicated the greatness of this company. The students who attended must have just twisted my words. Even so, this is a serious problem. It looks like we'll have fewer new hires next year than usual. No way, that can't be true. Saying that, Teru managed a strained smile. Behind it was a hint of anxiety that it might actually happen. And anger towards the students who complained or wrote harsh reviews on social media. I didn't say anything wrong. It's the students' fault for not understanding. He ground his back teeth, overconfident that he hadn't done anything wrong. Damn it, why did students suddenly stop applying? After that, they held a second company information session, but attendance plummeted. It ended up being a 32% decrease compared to the previous year. What can I do? At this rate, I can kiss the fast track to promotion goodbye. And things were going so well, too.
Teru, how about trying a slightly different approach?
Approach? Well, it's against my will, but I guess I have no choice at this point. Perhaps, feeling reluctantly forced by circumstances, Teru booted up his PC and started registering for a certain job hunting site. However... What's with this site? Why am I getting rejected? No matter how many times he tried, the company registration wouldn't go through. In other words, it seemed they couldn't pass the registration screening. Are you kidding me? What kind of company is running this useless site?
I can contact them.
Not necessary. Yelling that, Teru checked the name and address of the company running the site and roughly slammed his laptop shut. This is a joke. Making a fool out of me. I'll make them regret causing trouble for our company. Believe it or not, Teru marched straight into the office of the company running the job site. Hey, bring out the person in charge of this job site right now. He raised his voice intimidatingly at the reception desk, complaining in a way that drew the attention of everyone nearby. Teru? If it isn't Teru, it's been a while. What's wrong? You're Shunta Yoga. Don't tell me you work for Love Koi Navi. That's right, the company he stormed into was Love Koi Navi, where I work. I hadn't seen him since I quit, but he still had that same mocking look in his eyes. To think they have a high school grad like you. You're probably just dead weight doing chores again, aren't you? Oh wait, a company that soft on high school grads developed it. So that's why that bug happened. A bug? Don't play dumb. Love Koi Navi's high school grad job site. It's bugged. What's the deal with that? Oh, you were trying to use it? Thank you. I'm the one in charge of running it, and it's been very well received by our users. The job site Teru tried to register for is specifically for high school graduates. And that very platform is the one I planned, proposed, and worked desperately to build at this company. Shunta, look at this reviews page. It's full of gratitude from parents. While the new platform used by job hunting high school students was still limited to companies within the prefecture, it was highly praised not only by high schoolers who wanted to carefully search for local companies that suited them, but also gained a reputation among companies wanting to showcase their corporate culture and features, as they received access from many students. This service challenged the traditional tripartite agreement for high school employment, where schools and companies exchange job offers, and students apply through their schools. Since the presence and intentions of parents can't be ignored when you're a minor, I paid close attention to make sure there wouldn't be any objections from them. In a way, it's a feeling we don't fully understand, so the fact that you could focus on that is impressive, Shunta. Whether the number of high school grads is increasing or not, the fact remains that a certain number of people enter the workforce right out of high school. I just want to eliminate the trend of judging people just because they're a high school grad, without looking at who they really are.
That core strength of yours is so cool, Shunta. I can't let myself lose either.
Educational background is just one easily understood metric. Naturally, that background is something the person achieved through their own efforts. Thinking about that, I watched as my previous company caught a bit of fire on social media.
It kind of felt like high school grads aren't considered useful here, right?
So the rumor that they only care about education was true.
I had no way of knowing what happened at their information session, so I skimmed the posts and quietly closed the page. What's logical isn't an educational filter. That was the conclusion I arrived at. And so, that's how things led to this moment. But there's no way he could know any of that. You're in charge? Huh, no wonder it is a bug. Rejecting a well-known company around here like ours in the registration screening, that's impossible. I guess a useless site made by a useless guy is just useless after all. In contrast, I'm now in HR, having come from the sales department, the fast track to promotion. Jealous? I see. So that's why you tried to use our site. Far from changing no matter how many times it was reported, the fact that they transferred someone like him to HR left me dumbfounded at that company. Yeah, exactly. A major company like ours is trying to increase the quota for high school grads, which used to be only 1 or 2 hires a year. But when I tried to register on that site, we got rejected. You've been ignoring a massive bug this whole time. It's not a bug. Huh? We've already heard your complaints, so we investigated it before you even got here. Investigated? Are you saying you knew why I was coming here? Yes, I got a call before you stormed in, Teru. From her, my junior at your HR department. That was 30 minutes ago, probably right after you stormed out of the office, breathing heavily. I'm on the line, it's Yoga.
Shinta? I'm sorry to bother you when you're busy. Actually...
She contacted me with a trembling voice. Apparently, the HR manager is on a business trip, so she was left to deal with the situation. I see what happened. Understood. Don't worry, I'll handle it properly, so there's no need to fret. Thinking that she must be working hard at my old job while enduring Teru's daily sarcastic remarks made my heart ache. Your company wasn't rejected due to a bug. The system is operating normally. What? That's a massive missed opportunity for both us and the high schoolers. How are you gonna take responsibility? I can't believe I'm saying this, but you didn't deliberately reject our company out of a personal grudge, did you? Just because you couldn't survive as a high school grad, that doesn't mean you're allowed to. Could you please not speak based on assumptions? What? On our platform, registered companies are scored and sorted by various AI assessments. Labor practices, retention rates, reviews, harassment, and tendencies towards educational discrimination. We score companies comprehensively. However, the AI's job is strictly to score them. The final decision is made by our employees. See? In the end, you're the one making the judgment. We are the ones making the judgments. Your company's track record simply didn't meet the screening criteria to be recommended to high school job seekers. That's all there is to it.
Everything we just told you is clearly stated in the specifications in the Q&A. It's to protect the high school students after all.
Yes, this was the part I was most particular about. Under the tripartite agreement, high school students have too little freedom. However, if they can interview freely, there will be cases where minors are exploited by malicious companies. So, to prevent companies with bad reputations from joining the platform, we set a certain standard. Do you have any idea how much steady effort our Shunta put in to ensure that evaluations aren't swayed by fabricated reviews? Snapping at him without knowing anything makes you a pretty pitiful person for someone in the HR department of a major company. What? So you admit that fabricated reviews slip in? Of course I admit it, but by continuing to gather highly credible reviews, we can dilute the fabricated ones. Do you know how many surveys Shunta conducted, and how much data he inputted for that purpose? Perhaps overwhelmed by Jinto's icy glare, Teru finally fell silent.
Oh my! Could you possibly be the infamous Mr. K from the low-rated reviews?
Huh? Mr. K?
I was forced by Mr. K every day to worship him, as he say, we college grads are the ones earning the salaries for you high school grads. Mr. K makes fun of high school grads and doesn't treat us like humans. Thanks to him, my mental health deteriorated and I ended up quitting. We've gathered so many reviews like that, you know? Plus, I heard you made quite a fool out of our precious Shunta.
Shunta, a high school grad, is far more capable than you, a college grad. Remember that well. Seeing the two of them vent their anger at Teru for my sake made me feel a sense of relief. And then... Teru, I don't think I've ever really talked back to you before. To be honest, you weren't the only one who made fun of me, so I didn't really care. But I'm not the only high school graduate in the workforce. The girl who contacted me today, and so many others are working hard out there in society. If you keep looking down on people just because they're high school grads, it's only natural that you'll pay for it eventually, Teru. When I declared that, Teru walked away with a look like he'd been bitten by a sour bug. After that, Teru's company struggled to recruit staff, and the workload for existing employees skyrocketed due to the labor shortage. And then...
I refuse to live a life where I end up being looked down on by you. So, I'm quitting.
My junior also declared that to Teru and decided to quit. When she, who had always obeyed his every word, rebelled, other dissatisfied employees started quitting one after another. And the wave of resignations hasn't stopped. As a result of this string of resignations from disgruntled employees, Teru from HR was apparently transferred to a dead-end job. Furthermore...
Hey, did you hear? There's a rumor that Teru got transferred to Human Resources through connections.
That's totally possible. He acted like it was all his own merit, right? To mess up like that and still make fun of high school grads. How pathetic.
This company has no eye for people either. Promoting a guy like that? Causing capable employees to quit one after another.
Why? Why did it come to this? Perhaps the karma for constantly mocking people for being high school grads finally caught up with him, as he found himself the target of rumors that he was hired through connections. At the same time, the company that had overlooked this problem also saw its reputation plummet. As for us, we visited a nostalgic place during the season when cherry blossoms were dancing in the air. This might be my first time visiting the orphanage since I graduated high school. I see. Well, it's a place that brings up a lot of mixed emotions for us. Actually, Jinto had been visiting his former orphanage regularly to teach the children his specialty, studying. Inspired by his activities, Maureen decided to open a karate class, saying she wanted to teach the children too. Today is the first day. Jinto and I went to the orphanage to observe and bring Maureen some refreshments. Huh? Did they remodel? The interior feels cleaner somehow. I asked my foster parents to donate the money they would have spent on my college tuition to the orphanage instead. Wait, really? Jinto said it so casually, but I think it was a wish that only came true because he had built a good relationship with his foster parents. And even though she didn't grow up there, Maureen spent her days off for the children at the orphanage, teaching them karate with a smile, even while occasionally moving to protect her bad right knee. Those two are amazing. I want to do more of what I can too.
Hey, mister, can you do karate? If not, teacher, you spar with me.
During a break from practice, a kid who wanted to try more karate ran up to us, looking at us with sparkling eyes. Oh, let's have a match then. Actually, Maureen-sensei has an old injury, so I'll be your opponent during the break. Ouch! Hey, come on. Karate isn't a team attack sport. Ow!
Hey, everyone stop!
I let my guard down, thinking they were just kids who had just learned karate. but I was instantly beaten up by children who didn't know how to hold back. Maureen protected me from the kids, who had no idea about the rules and kept attacking even after I fell over. I'm sorry. I meant to protect you, but it ended up like this.
Jeez, don't make me worry needlessly.
The pure desire to help her probably came from the fact that I'm attracted to her. Perhaps my feelings got through to her, as Maureen suddenly blushed. Yes, this is good. This is exactly the direction I was hoping for. No matter what my life has been like up until now, I want to live each day so that I can be just a little bit prouder of myself than I was yesterday. As for me, who has come to feel this way, the time until I confess my feelings to Maureen is...
Aw, this was such a cute story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.